Baker Mayfield comes back and all the stuff going around. What was you, as a former Brown, as a legend, as a guy that is in the public eye? What was your take on Baker Mayfield coming back, and how would you have responded? Let's say you were a defensive player. Would it made any difference whether it was Baker Mayfield or Matt Ryan?
Well, there was obviously a lot more emotion wrapped up into this first game with the Browns and the Panthers because of the history with Baker Mayfield being their quarterback and getting dumped in the offseason for Deshaun Watson. And it's interesting. I've got a lot of friends in the locker room still, and you talk to a lot of those guys, and I've got a lot of friends in coaching, in the front office, in the staff. And just about everybody has an opinion on Baker Mayfield. I know it's a real shocker out there. He's been a non-polarizing guy his entire life. But you talk to a lot of guys on offense, they love him. Like, he's their dude. They were so sad when he was traded, and they wish he was still the quarterback. They understand the situation, but they loved him, right? And then you talk to some guys on defense, not all guys, but some guys. And I think Myles Garrett alluded to it a little bit this past week when he talked about, like, the relationship was complicated between especially Baker and Myles, and then Baker in that defense. And I think some of it stemmed from the fact that the defense felt like they were doing enough last season, especially, and the offense led by Baker wasn't holding up their end of the bargain, and they ended up with a mediocre season when they all felt like they had the best roster in the NFL. And then I think just when you're not having the success you expected, some of those personality traits that maybe you fall in love with when you're winning, the cockiness, the arrogance, the ego, those things maybe are the same reasons you don't like the guy when you're not having the success you expected. It's a little bit like Major League, being a Cleveland guy. I always love the Major League movies. Remember Jack Parkman? Like, they love him when he's in their jersey and he's hitting home runs for you. But as soon as he's not playing well or he's in the other jersey, that's exactly the reasons that you hate him. And so I think for the Browns, there was definitely a referendum, a revenge factor in that game to be able to try to get that victory, especially for the people in the front office that made the decision to move on from Baker, to be able to sort of win the referendum on, yep, this was the right decision. We moved on from Baker, because we're trying to win Super Bowls. We're not just trying to get to the playoffs and win playoff games. And we felt that Baker had a ceiling, and we gave him a couple seasons with the best roster in the NFL. He wasn't able to produce more than one playoff victory, and we're keeping the main thing the main thing. And that's one thing I give the Browns credit for. Like, they took a big risk and a big chance because they're saying to their fans, we're here to win Super Bowls. We're not just here to fill seats and be competitive from year to year.